All right, before we go over this video, I think it's important to recognize that we as human beings have this propensity to look at the bright side of things, to see the good in people, even to the point of ignoring the bad in people. It's kind of a tunnel vision perspective that ignorantly denies reality. And in this case, it's the reality that people who become cops have actually chosen, they volunteered to carry out the most vile commands, the most vile laws imaginable. And they don't take that evil into account when they're considering the good. And seeing the good in people is probably why a lot of people, when they see cops do good things and cops do good things, they expand that one good deed out and overlay it over that cop's entire career. So this cop must be good. I'm sure these Farmington cops did a lot of good things during the course of their career, but then they ended up killing Chase Allen. I'm sure all these Arvada Police Department employees did a lot of good things, but then they ended up killing Johnny Hurley. And I don't have any doubt that Philip Brailsford and some of these Mesa Police Department employees did a lot of good things in their lives, but then they decided to off innocent Daniel Shaver. And what about the Memphis jump out crew? I'm sure they probably did a lot of good things right before they went ahead and did what they did to Tyree Nichols. So there's no argument. I'm sure cops do a lot of good things. My question is, though, should we just ignore all the bad and outright evil things they've done during the course of their career? The list of all these cops going out there and doing really, really bad things to a lot of innocent people, the list could go on forever. The point is, cops do good things, but that can never erase the mountain of bad things that they've done and continue to do. So when I see cops do good things like Officer Fulcheck here, who decided to pull this kid over and instead of giving him a ticket, gave him a lesson on how to tie a tie, I don't deny that this is a good and wholesome thing or even an endearing thing. But what kind of evil has Officer Fulcheck and other cops done that nobody's willing to consider? Let's refresh ourselves on this guy's good deed, but then let's take another look at a not so wholesome incident that happened to this same officer because of this same officer just a couple years later.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Who's just stopped you for your speed going down 8th Street?
8th Street, Cap.
You turned off at 13th Ave and then you went...
Yep, I know what you mean. After I get a tie tied and have a presentation and thought my buddy was home, but he's not, and I'm running behind ice.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering why you looped down 8th Street and then back up 6th.
Yeah, that house at the end, that's one of my good friends' house, and he knows how to tie ties, and I honestly don't know how to.
Where's your tie?
There it is.
While I do this, why don't you grab your proof of insurance and your driver's license quick?
Yes, sir.
There, you should be able to adjust it.
Okay, thank you so much.
162 Birds, Minnesota 27.
Again, this cop's name is Martin Fulcheck, and I wonder if he was aware that he was creating a viral moment. And this thing has truly gone viral. It's got 17.4 million views just on Police Activity's YouTube channel, not counting what's the views that have been racked up on other social media sites like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. Understanding that this cop knows that he's on at least a dash cam, if not a body cam. I can't tell from this distance if he has one on. This cop is aware that he's creating a viral video. I have no doubt about that.
Probably not the best now, but it'll work.
Yeah, it'll work. A lot better than what I was going to do, that's for sure. Thank you so much.
Last name is for your insurance.
Yep.
Oh, it does have the car on there. Never mind.
That's
okay. And that one expired in May, so make sure you get a new one in there.
Yeah, I have it.
Mom and Dad.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually going home right after class after the presentation.
And while Fulchek is giving this guy a break, and he's going to give this guy a break, you got to realize this cop acted as a corporate employee by checking driver's license and proof of insurance and probably registration. What is driver's license? That's your permission slip from the government to do something that you have the perfect right to do anyway, and that's travel down the public highways and byways in your private property. What's insurance? It's forced insurance. So he's looking to make sure, even though he was out of date on this, he cut him some slack. But how many times has this cop pulled somebody over and fined them for not having registration, not having the driver's license, not having proof of insurance? That is not somebody who is looking out for your constitutionally protected rights, your unalienable rights. Traffic law, in the cop's mind, trumps constitutional rights. You lose all of your constitutional rights, including the right to travel freely and unmolested at every single traffic stop.
I gotta tie it shorter here. Kind of
no doubt
crap on.
Yeah, it's
no doubt that what he's doing here is kind and compassionate and, like I said, endearing.
Yeah, I kind of thought I was going to get dinged up when you were behind me.
I was gonna stop you sooner, but then that blazer pulled out between us.
Yeah, I thought you were going to get me there. Then.
Go ahead. Try that. There's only a little bit of a tail there, so.
Okay.
Never. Well, it's almost too long, but.
I'm going to have this jacket on, so.
Looks good.
Thank you.
All right, so that was nice. That was wholesome. That was good. Hats off to Officer Martin Fulchek for that. But Martin Fulchek was also in the news again after this, just years later. And this involved as you can see right there, Chippewa County officer involved in fatal shooting. And then they determined that it was an act of self-defense. Well, guess what? That's what they thought about Philip Brailsford, who got acquitted for the cold-blooded offing of Daniel Shaver. Listen to this right here for Folsom.
In gears now, the Chippewa County Sheriff's Office sergeant who shot a man this fall after being sprayed by a substance has been found to have acted reasonably in self-defense. That officer-involved shooting happened October 8th during a traffic stop near Cadott. According to the sheriff's office, a fight broke out between the motorist Lance Stelzer and Sergeant Martin Fulchek.
Now that Martin Fulchek is the same guy who put this guy's tie on. This is the same deputy. Well, I think he was a police officer right here, but now he's a deputy, and it looks like he worked his way up in the sheriff's department to the position of sergeant. But we are talking about the same guy.
Stelzer reportedly sprayed hornet spray at Sergeant Fulchek, who then pulled out his weapon and shot Stelzer. Officials
reportedly sprayed Officer Fulchek, Sergeant Fulchek, with hornet spray. Do we have body camera footage? Do we have dash cam evidence like we have dash cam evidence right here? Not that I've seen. We got to basically take the deputy's word for it, and we got to take the sheriff's department's word for it, and we got to take mainstream media's word for it. What do you think happened?
But the sheriff's office said emergency medical services were used to save him, but he died before arriving at a hospital. Today, the Chippewa County District Attorney's Office said Sergeant Fulchek's actions were a reasonable act of self-defense. The DA's office says Fulchek reportedly told Stelzer to stop spraying him multiple times as his vision started to become impaired, and Stelzer did not comply. Stelzer then charged at Fulchek.
Do you know which other groups of cops they said acted in self-defense? That's right. All the Farmington officers using deadly force against Chase Allen. They said they operated in self-defense.
Fulchek, who retreated into a ditch and ended up with his back against a barbed wire fence. Fearing further physical harm or death, Fulchek decided to use lethal force to stop the threat. He believed a taser would not be effective due to Stelzer being dressed in heavy clothing. Now, the DA says in the past, Stelzer, who suffered from mental health issues, had talked about committing suicide by cop.
There's a scriptural saying that says something like, a little leaven leavens the whole lump. You can have a whole bunch of good deeds, but all you have to introduce are a few bad deeds, and it basically dilutes and wipes away all of your good deeds. A lot of people want to look at police officers saving kitties from trees or helping little old ladies across the street or helping this guy who's late for his presentation put on his tie and showed him how to tie a tie. But they don't think about the devastating effects that cops exact on the public daily. I mean, one of the most blaring and obvious cases of cowardice is from the Arvada Police Department when they offed Johnny Hurley after Johnny Hurley just got done successfully taking out a mass shooter who was aiming for cops in the Arvada Police Department. And while he was doing that, 3 cops in the Arvada Police Department barricaded themselves inside the department because they said, well, we didn't have the weaponry to handle that guy. Johnny Hurley only had a handgun, while the perpetrator that he took down had an AR-15 and other weapons on him. And guess what happens? After Johnny Hurley took out the shooter, the Arvada Police Department took out Johnny Hurley. So when people present videos like this and say, Brian, look at this. You say cops are bad. They never do anything good. I've never said that cops don't do anything good. I said as a matter of practice and as a matter of history and what their career and their profession is all about is obeying and complying with and enforcing politicians' laws, most of which are just cruel and downright evil. Guys, let me know what you guys think about this. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt. We got a brand new design about road pirates. You should really check it out. Grab one, become a channel member. But more importantly, know what your rights are, fight for your rights, and exercise your rights every single day. If you don't exercise your rights, they're like a muscle. You will lose them. I will see you in the next video.